Aaron gets the opportunity of a lifetime. Zoey and Luca are getting dangerously close. And the crew gets a little bit deeper insights into Vivek and how he is still suffering the consequences of his drug arrest. What's good, y'all? It's your good sis Erica Vane coming to you right here on Erica Vane TV with another grownish video. In this video, we are breaking down episode 14 from season 4. The revolution will not be televised. In this episode, we spent a lot of the time walking with Aaron as he prepared for this amazing opportunity to speak about the Black experience at Cal U on a bigger scale amongst other PWI universities. He was chosen to represent the Cal U grad students as well as students just based off of his experience with being an undergrad and now a grad student and a TA. He decides after, talking with Doug and talking with his students and registering the weight of this opportunity that he's going to shift from a random speech that just kind of like highlights the big points and drop deeper into a more vulnerable, honest conversation around how to survive at a PWI as a Black person, which starts to ruffle a little bit of feathers with the higher ups. Now, I love the call out to Brene Brown in this episode. Doug actually allows or shows Aaron a Brene Brown talk about vulnerability, which I watched. She actually has something on Netflix, but also she's done a huge TED talk, which really helped her go viral and blew her up and then kind of coined her as the vulnerability woman. And I thought it was so dope. Like, while she is, a older white woman, her speech, her conversations around vulnerability are absolutely amazing, and I love that they included it in this. And then I love that for these two young Black men, they were exploring and resonating with the idea of vulnerability and honesty and authenticity sparked by this talk. And then that allowed for Aaron to create a talk that was more in line with what accurately depicts his experience at Cal U and in the Black experience at Cal U, while also helping to equip students who are coming behind him with information that they could use to kind of help them navigate and subvert some of the pitfalls that might be set up in their way. Now, it's unfortunate we get one of the deans is played by Kadeem Hardison, so he makes a guest appearance, and he's also Black, of course, and he's the bearer of bad news of like Aaron is going to wind up getting pulled from the opportunity if he continues with this super vulnerable, super honest speech, because it paints the university in not so great of a light, or as he says, Aaron is using it as an opportunity to air his grievances, and it sucks, but that is what honestly Aaron is faced with, and he decides to let Luca's sister go ahead and deliver the speech as is, and she also prefaced it beautifully with this introduction and explanation and giving a little bit of context. So he winds up ultimately being able to deliver the speech, even though it was said like, oh, you're gonna be pulled if you decide to give this speech. They decide to move forward and give an honest one. Part of what Aaron is struggling with in this episode is going back and forth of like whether he should change his speech or not, and ultimately he decides not to. By the end of the episode, he arrives at the decision that he probably needs to leave Cal U because things are not going to change there. He hasn't had the best experience, and then also while his like Black saloon is doing really amazing, he's become super popular as a teacher on this campus, and it seemed to be so promising his future and helping to shape young minds. The university is still very archaic in how it thinks, and it is not understanding the need for resources and support and actual like self-reflection to be able to create better experiences for the Black students on this campus. So ultimately Aaron decides that he's going to go ahead and walk away. He's not only going to leave the TA position, but he's going to leave as a graduate student and probably try to find somewhere else that's better in line with wanting to support him as not only a student but as a burgeoning education professional and an activist. And honestly, I was surprised to see that was going to be what he did to lead at the end, but I'm not surprised because it's a really great decision. And honestly, this kind of goes back to his breakup with Zoey, because I feel like he's in a much clearer and more focused place, which allows for him to be able to see his situation very clearly and make these decisive decisions and make them very, very quickly, because he's not distracted with what he has going on with Zoey. So while the breakup seemed like it was going to be something that was going to hurt them both and have them both struggle, Aaron is really starting to flourish and come into his own and really, really drive drop into who he is and the man that he wants to be. And I am so very excited for him. Now, speaking about Zoey, I started to get all the little vibes, y'all. Very early on in the episode, Luca and Zoey are up against this really tight deadline because Zoey talked to Joey Badass and they're going to try to get some line done so they can partner with him and be able to really help propel Luca's company forward really quickly. And while they are working hard and diligently on these designs and pulling these pieces together, they are going down the road of like what really brought them together, what they loved about each other, getting super comfortable, so much so that they actually wind up kissing in this episode. And the moment that the kiss was about to happen, I was like, please do not do this, because I cannot get back on this roller coaster with y'all. Like, I do feel like Zoey still has unfinished business with Aaron. I feel like that relationship with Aaron would have worked, but it just was poor timing. And this is literally, honestly, the kiss validated why Aaron wanted to break up with Zoey. Like, in the moment, kind of felt like, okay, Aaron, you're just being a little bit insecure and you feel like you can't handle, but I appreciate you saying that you can't handle having her work with him. And this is why, like, Zoey, you're showing absolutely no restraint. Did you always want to get back with Luca? Like, girl, what is actually going on? And I know hormones be racing, and when you love somebody, you don't ever really stop loving them. But I'm gonna need Zoey to get it together. She needs to tighten up, because she's literally, she just winds up dragging both of these men in their hearts through the damn mud, and she's going back and forth like a little yo-yo between the two. And I'm just like, girl, I am seasick. I know you probably seasick by now. I think you need to make a decision and just damn stick with it. And I don't know if Luca is going to be that final decision, so I don't want her to go back and revisit Luca, especially right after Aaron. And at the end of the day, Aaron is the one who actually broke up with her, so it's not even like you decided that you didn't want to be with Aaron anymore. Girl, like, what are you doing? What are you doing, Zoey? On a lighter note, in this episode, Anna and Nomi get a ride share from Vivek unknowingly, and then that allows for him to explain like what's going on, how he wasn't able to get a job because of his drug dealing past and all of that. And then they basically have kind of like a heart-to-heart, which is really great to see. And ultimately Anna pushes him to reach out to his dad, so we get that at the end of the episode. And then hopefully we'll get to see a conversation with Vivek being able to make peace with his parents, because we saw that once all of the drug things came out and he was being held accountable, they kind of abandoned him and walked away. Well, at least his father did. So I'm looking forward to seeing some type of resolution, and maybe his dad can realize that he misses his son and we get to see that little reunion. But overall, I'm just stressed about Zoey. This Luca and Aaron roller coaster, it must end. And it must end immediately, sis. All right, y'all, but that is my breakdown of Grownish episode 14. Let me know what you thought about the episode in the comment section down below. I thank you so very much for watching. All of season 4 is on Erica Vane TV right now, so if you missed any of my previous breakdowns, please be sure to check it out. I got a few links for you on screen, and I'll see you in the next one.